The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that's doomed.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
It's Friday, the 21st day of August, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman. Happy Friday to you all. How's everyone feeling today? We've got Carmi says, good morning and a great morning to you and a happy Friday. James Burgess says, good morning to the Daily Hour team show. Happy weekend to all. Indeed, happy Friday, happy weekend, happy day to every last one of you. We've got Donna Scott says, good morning, Jamal, and a great morning to you, Miss Donna Scott. Folks, this is you all's favorite day of the week. I'm gonna miss you all, so it's not really my favorite. I don't get to see you for 2 full days. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that. Yeah, know the engagement, but seriously, I say it all the time. It's getting boring. It's repetitive, but I do love what I do. So I appreciate my time off. I appreciate weekends, as we all should. The time to relax, or at least we should relax. But I love Mondays because I love what I do. Alrighty. Well, we've got Carmi says, yes, Friday is the best day of the week. Okay, well, she's on to Friday. Well, folks, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. When misinformation crosses the line, yes, we're discussing whether or not people should be charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information. That's what we're discussing today. The daily play is going to be things you should know. And audience, please do not forget to subscribe on our website and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Well, question of the morning. What are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? That's the question this morning. Well, you're probably saying, well, Jamel, why is that the question? Well, the Department of Public Prosecutions announced that charges had been approved against Victor Bahia relating to the alleged distribution of an image that became a matter of significant national concern. Bahia appeared in magistrate's court and pled not guilty to transmitting an electronic communication that he knew to be false. A second man, Alvaro Crow, also pleaded not guilty to a separate charge of knowingly making a false statement to a police officer. Both matters have been adjourned until September 21st. Now, the cases are understood to be connected to the reported rattlesnake sighting that captured Bermuda's attention and resulted in weeks of searching. Now, government has said approximately $50,000 was spent on efforts to locate the snake with local agencies and overseas specialists involved. Now, no physical evidence of a snake has been found to date. Now, these are matters currently before the courts, let me be clear, and both men have pled not guilty. So we're not here to determine anyone's guilt. but it does raise a concern that needs to be discussed. We live in an age where a picture, a voice note, WhatsApp message, or social media post can travel across Bermuda in minutes. And sometimes we share something because it's funny, shocking, or interesting without stopping to ask, is this actually true? Now, the DPP's message was clear. People need to be responsible when sharing information, and there can potentially be legal consequences for the mischievous misuse of electronic communications. Folks, you see the question of the morning. What are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? Think on that. We'll come back, we'll discuss, and we'll give you the poll question as well. This is a conversation everyone needs to be involved in, because we all, I'm including myself, love to share things via WhatsApp, especially as if they're fact. Stick with us. Your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Alrighty, folks, you see the question scrolling at the bottom. We're discussing a situation. If you're not familiar, there was a case recently, a situation where basically people believe there was a snake in Bermuda, for instance. But let's not even just focus on the snake situation, right? Now, you probably figured out that I went to school and I studied video and audio. And back then, we didn't have all of the technology we have today. So you don't need to study video and audio and the like to know how to edit videos and make them sound real and make someone appear somewhere they've never been, right? So I'm very cautious. I'm very cautious about what I share and who I share things with. And if anything, I'll put, hey, is this true? You can't even trust anything on a Ring camera these days. There was an episode of Family Matters back in the day. And I don't know if you all remember this episode. I think Steve and Carl may have been on a jury, if I'm remembering correctly. And Steve thought the guy was innocent and everyone else thought it was guilt because he was on camera. But Steve saw something no one else did. The camera footage was edited to frame the person. And Steve said, but if you look in the reflection, you can see that's not his face. I share that because every day I scroll social media. There's something that actually, if you're really good on the eye, like if you can see things beyond what they are, you can tell what's AI sometimes. And I know the older we get, the less concerned we become, not about what's true or what's not, but whether or not it's our responsibility to figure it out. Seriously. But I think there are lessons in this for every Bermudian, regardless of age, gender, background, prestigious position, that it's important for us all to verify before sharing. Think about it. How often do we forward images or videos or voice notes without knowing whether they're authentic? In a small community like Bermuda, false information can spread in minutes. Like literally Bermuda viral. And it's important for all of us. This is, again, it's not young people doing this. These are full-grown adults. It's important for us to remember there are real-world consequences. Online misinformation doesn't just stay online. It can create fear, consume police and government resources, and to impact the wider community. Let's talk about personal responsibility. We love to talk about accountability on this show. Does it rest with the person who creates the false information? Or also with the people who knowingly help spread it? You dig me now? Because a lot of us, we didn't even know where it came from, but we shared it. Yeah? So while the person who created it is guilty, what about us? All of us who run with it. Folks, here's your poll question of the day. Should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for depends. And also the question of the morning, what are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. We've got Manuela says, sharing information that you know to be false can be dangerous and costly. There should be consequences. I agree, but what about, Manuela, what about those who, because now there's a little gray area, right? What about those of us who share it and we don't know if it's false or not, but we share it? What about those folks? Now, there may be cases where, you know what? Children may be in danger, right? There may be, people may say, hey, there's a guy dressed in all black and a mask that's always standing up by this school. And someone can send a picture of the person, thinking they're protecting the children around that school. Come to find out, this guy's working on a project where he's only coming out for a water break or a smoke break, but the reason he's all dressed up like that and got face covered is because of the work he's doing on a house. There may be circumstances, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate. You feel me, though? All right, folks, let's go back to the audience. What are your thoughts on people being... Well, Dr. Anthony Richardson says, there are already consequences in the form of criminal prosecution and civil lawsuits. People should also sue those who recklessly spread false information, those who create a story to get ahead of a story. The culprits seem to not appreciate the harm or damage they cause. That's it right there. Folks, the damage that can be caused by spreading false information. Think about if it was you or your family or loved one. We've got James Burgess says, yes, they should be charged for false information. Okay. We've got Carmi says, yes, there should be consequences for wrong, bad behavior. Okay. We've got Suzanne Ingham says they need to be held accountable for their actions, the repercussions of what they do. That is for everyone. Tanya Cheeseman says, yes, there should be a financial penalty for knowingly sharing false information. WKD Lama says, making false reports is the issue for me. Fake videos are funny. Well, it depends on what the fake video is, right? It depends on what it is, because if a fake video is, defaming someone or putting others in harm, then is it really funny? It really depends on what that video is. We've got Dorian with AI. Expect to see many more cases like this. Here's my concern. My concern is not necessarily making the videos like WKD Lama said, I think it was. My concern is that the videos cause stress, cause harm, cost resources, right? If they're just there to entertain, let's be, okay, we've got some of our media's funniest people, right? Mr. Photogenic. He creates some hilarious videos. His videos are not harmful. They're not spreading false information. They're making light of situations, right? So I don't think it's about blaming AI. This comes back to personal responsibility. This is on us. Stop blaming and looking for everything else to blame. We've got James Burgess says it was an AI situation. It's not AI. This is personal responsibility. This is human beings making decisions to use AI for, I guess, harm. That's what it is. At the end of the day, we also have to understand our friends and family, right? So if I create a video and I say sighting of a tiger in Bermuda, and I make this video and send it in my family chat, I would hope none of my family is going to forward that. And now, all of a sudden, it becomes this thing where we're spreading false information. No, I don't want to. No. I'm sending it to you as a joke. But if I make that clear, maybe that clears me from any sort of legal repercussions. But we have a tendency to, I think it's almost like Bermudians, we get bored. So let's create something. I don't know, folks. What are your thoughts, though, audience? What are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? And the poll this morning, should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for depends. And if you say depends, what does it depend on for you? I gave an example earlier. Kami says disrupting our entire country is not right. I agree. There should be repercussions for it. I agree. In this case, if a police report is made, you are definitely going to be in trouble. Definitely going to be in trouble. The police already, people already complain, oh, where are the police on the roads to help stop the collisions? Well, with people spreading nonsense and taking them away from what you deem important. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Manuela says, even if the post did not originate with you, you should be cautious. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's the message that I want us to understand this morning. That's what I want the takeaway to be this morning. Most of us are not going to create the content, but we will share the content. I'm sure everyone on tuned in right now, whether on social media or the radio, has been guilty of that at some point. I know we've all been guilty of it at some point. But folks, we have to be more responsible. We have to do better. Because why? We know better. Rhonda Trotz, oh my goodness, that's long. Let's read it from the side. Keep them short, folks. Keep them short. It's not about you. My rule of thumb is to think twice before sharing anything that could harm someone, even if it seems real. If it's negative, I think seek further information, whether or not it's true. With AI technology advancing so rapidly, I've seen unbelievable things like ads showing people kissing each other from a picture. Doesn't want to use this negatively. Can use someone else's spouse. These actions can cause damage before the facts are even known. Indeed. But I like something out of this that was said. Think twice before sharing anything that could harm someone, even if it seems real. Think about that, folks. Even if it seems real, even if it may be true, if it's harmful, what's the point? What is the point? We've got Carmi says, like when there is an accident and people record and then post in chats, you don't know who is related to who. This is a perfect example. The sharing of pictures. That's a perfect example of something we do in a small community. It's just not helpful. It's not helpful. We've got someone on Instagram under Triumph Prevails says, what about those who knowingly know a crime was committed and remove electronic devices knowing it was connected to a criminal offense? Should they be held accountable? Well, that's a completely different discussion. We can discuss that one day, but we're talking about this morning's conversation, which we don't allow the audience to just take us elsewhere like that. We're discussing what are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information. That's the discussion this morning. All right. If you want to be a part of that discussion, feel free, but we're not taking it elsewhere. We can discuss that another day. The poll question: should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for depends. We've got Shawnette Sumner says, there's an upsurge of people who are posting venomous information under false names. This should not be allowed. So let me stop there. I know we've had many discussions on pseudonyms on like news websites, right? And now if you look at social media, like Facebook, for instance, in groups and so on, people can use, I guess, pseudonyms. Keep in mind, the person who approves them in these groups can see who the person really is, or at least a real name, another name. So someone should always know who they are. But I take your point. It says, if what one has to say is that crucial, identify yourself and stand by what you say. I agree with you. I stand by what I say, but there are people who can't, right? I'm going to use people who work in the civil service. They for years felt like, well, I can't speak up because of my job, which I think is ridiculous, because if you're a tax-paying voter in Bermuda, then you should be able to speak out publicly about things that are wrong in the country. You shouldn't be bound by your employer, regardless of its government or not. But I understand you, but I disagree, because at the end of the day, people don't feel protected to really speak out and speak up. So I think that's the issue we're facing. We've got Rhonda Trott says, legally getting to knowingly is a very high bar to cross. Yeah. We've got Nicole Hassel says, I'm not a fan of AI, but I see this tool being very damaging. People will have to be held accountable if they use AI to cause harm and distress. I don't think AI is the problem. I'm going to stand by that. People are the problem, not AI. People are the problem. It's like, we have tools and we're using, it's like a fork and a knife, right? Most people use a fork and a knife to survive, to eat. But there are some people who will use a knife to harm others. That's what AI is to me. AI is not the issue to me. It's how we utilize the tool. Yeah? I think it comes down to how we utilize the tool. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. We're going to continue the conversation. We've got to take a break, right? We've got to take a break. We'll continue the conversation after this break. This is a very good conversation. I keep them coming, but share this conversation with your friends and family. You know what? Share this conversation in your WhatsApp group, because trust me, there's probably people in your WhatsApp groups right now who need to understand that there are consequences to their actions. All right. We'll continue the question and the poll after this break. Let's pay some love to Titan Express Secure. Then we'll do the days of the year. Then we will take a quick commercial break. Stick with us.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural expressions, they set their standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
All righty, folks. All right. So it is Kool-Aid Day. Kool-Aid Day. So I want to ask you all, what was your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? What was your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? Let us know, what was your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? So my mama, I don't know if I told you all, but like if my mama couldn't eat or drink something, then we as children couldn't eat or drink it. So like we couldn't have sugary drinks. So we didn't drink Ribena. We couldn't really drink Kool-Aid. Like you get the small little packets, if that, not the regular size packets. So I would just try to sneak sugar in my drink. But I never really was able to enjoy it. So that's why as an adult, I don't really drink sugary drinks like that. But yeah, I can't say I had a favorite flavor of Kool-Aid because You know, that's why I eat so much fried chicken now, though, because I wasn't allowed to eat it when I was young. But opposite with Kool-Aid, I just never took to the sugary drinks and sodas. I mean, maybe this is me telling you who I am without telling you. But any sugary drink with ginger, I'm going to do a ginger beer or ginger ale. All right. Favorite Kool-Aid flavor? Renee Charlin says cherry. We've got Stacey Ann Brown says chocolate thin Kool-Aid. Okay. All right. We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson says grape Kool-Aid. We've got red flavor. So that's like any red flavor, James Burgess. We've got, I like strawberry, but I don't have drink in my house now, says Carmi. Okay. We've got fruit punch or anything red, says Richard Scott. All right. Kool-Aid, man. Everybody had Kool-Aid. I remember going to people's houses. Man, you got some Kool-Aid? Like always. For me, that was the only time I could drink it if I went to someone's house because mama didn't really, like, I don't remember her allowing us. I'm trying to think, what did we drink? Couldn't have Ribena. This was bad for our teeth. She cared about my teeth, I guess. I guess it turned out pretty well, as you can see on. But yeah, I'm serious. We couldn't have sugary drinks. Maybe I want to ask my sister. Maybe my sister can tell me what we used to drink. But anyway, it's Kool-Aid day, so if you still drink Kool-Aid, go enjoy a cool glass of Kool-Aid over ice today. Charles H. F. II says, flavor of Kool-Aid, I just knew it was red. My cousin and I would call it, and Smarties, and as medicine every 4 hours? My goodness. You love some Kool-Aid, huh? We've got Suzanne Ingham says, none, never liked it. Drank it in my younger years. Grape way back then. Okay, grape. All right, folks, going to take a quick break. But make sure you share the conversation. We're going to continue the conversation after this break. We're going to continue it. And I hope that we can make progress today. Because I believe this weekend, all of us will receive something via WhatsApp. All of us will. My hope is that by the end of this conversation, we will make a more conscious decision on whether or not we should hear it beyond ourselves. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few. Stick with us.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It. Freshness at your doorstep. Delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Ace boy, I see you got your U.S. cash. Traveling again? Rich auntie, you know what's your secret?
Nah, I just use the new HSBC Bermuda travel website.
I know about cash back, but it's got a travel website too?
Yeah, and it's lit. Flights, hotels, rentals, book it all in one spot and use your reward points instantly. No blackout dates, no delays. I'm going, bro.
What you mean use your points instantly?
Yeah, bro. Go on the site, see how many points you've got from all that shopping you've been doing. And if you ain't got enough for what you want, just use your HSBC credit card and top it up with some more points.
Okay, spend the points, stack some more. I see, I'm got you now.
I know, right?
Log on to redeem.hsbc.bm. Book your travel deal. Pay with your points. No blackout dates. Easy and hassle-free. Visit redeem.hsbc.bm and get going. HSBC. opening up a world of opportunity. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
Welcome back to The Big Show. Jamel Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Alrighty, folks. Well, let's continue the conversation. You see the question. We're asking you, what are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? The poll question is, should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences? No. The poll question is about knowingly spreading, not creating it, not reporting it, but spreading it. Yeah? So I want to go to some comments because we have quite a few comments that came in earlier. We've got Renee Sherlin says, in some cases, it's not a matter of sharing the info, but only submitting your opinion on the subject matter. Help me understand, because to me, if you're sharing something harmful that could be harmful, then to me, you're just as guilty as the person who created it. If you know that it's, honestly, you don't even have to know if it's true sometimes, if it's harmful. I think someone said it recently. Ask ourselves, how is this going to help us before you spread it? How is it going to be helpful? And if you can't figure out how something's going to be helpful, then why share it? We've got Charles H. Duffs II. He says, knowingly sharing false information and passing it off as becoming real is problematic. Yes, there should be consequences. End of story. So let's use politics. So I receive things about politics all the time, and I'll say, I might forward it to someone and be like, hey, have you seen this? I'll be like, this came from a false number, or I'll probably be like, this was shared in a group. Now, I don't know if it's true, but I do have some, like if I have someone who actually told me long before this came, hey, look, do you know this has been happening, da, 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 da? I was like, really? Yeah, I was sitting here and they came to me. I have like someone who's actually told me months before, then I'll be like, oh man, this is crazy. But I don't doubt that it may be true because this actually happened to someone that told me months ago. I can tell you with an internal political election coming up, we are probably going to have a lot of stuff like this spreading. Now, again, it's about harmful stuff. It's about facts. It's about opinions. And sometimes we share things just because we have questions. But even sometimes our questions could be harmful. Right? We've got Manuela says, there was a time before social media that I was given condolences for the passing of a family member. I was torn, but I called the family to verify. It was false info. It can get worse now. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you said before social media, because I want people to understand this is not just about having access to more technology and tools. This is, you don't realize every conversation we have comes back to personal responsibility and accountability. Every conversation. I don't think we're doing ourselves justice by necessarily blaming social media and artificial intelligence. Technology will always evolve. We'll always have access to new things. But it's really about how each of us chooses to use the tools that we have access to. We need to be conscious of the impact that the things that we do will have on others. Let's go back to the comments. We've got, again, question of the morning, folks. What are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? The poll question is, should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences? Now, if you're just tuning in, basically what happened was, the DPP charged some folks, right, for knowingly spreading false information. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. The DPP also said people need to be responsible when sharing information. And there can potentially be legal consequences for those who fail to adhere. I want to say this. Intent matters, folks. There is a difference between unknowingly sharing something false and deliberately creating or distributing misinformation, right? Intent does matter. But also, try to verify before just spreading something. No. There was a case recently where a family member had lost someone in a road fatality. And they shared in our family group that this person was lost. But the media hadn't reported it for another few days. And so, people were like, oh, gotta be careful what you're spreading. The police haven't announced it. Okay. Folks, if it's coming from the family, I'll believe them. The police operate within a conscious realm. Like they have their reasons why they haven't announced things yet. Right? But if a family, like direct family, next of kin, has notified, that's different. Now, I want to say this. We live in a culture, and I've always said this about on this show. We love likes, we love shares and attention. Now, I say on this show almost daily, I say, hey, make sure you give us a like, love, and share it. That's not an ego thing. That's an information thing. We live where everyone wants to be a celebrity. Everyone wants to be loved and liked. Everyone wants attention. I'm the opposite, despite doing this show. Once I get off this show, I don't really want people going with me and being with me. I deserve that privacy, and so do you. I am as open as I can be with you all, and I share as much as I can if I believe it's going to be helpful for you. You know, Charlemagne the God is someone in the audience always saying, "You two are just alike," and he's a professional. I disagree with him a lot. He's next level radio host, right? I think we're very different. But one thing I always appreciated about him is he keeps his private life private. He's very open about his mental health, about himself, but his family is private. He also said some things last year where they had this new co-host, Jessica, and just hilarious, and people were tearing her up on social media, comparing her with the co-host. He said, stay out of the comments. You will receive more when you reach a certain level. More people will dislike you than like you. And I'll tell you what, a friend of mine said it to me when we were young. He said, look, my granny always tell me, if nobody likes you, something's wrong. But if everybody likes you, something's wrong. People, likes and shares and follows, social media, it's not paying bills in Bermuda. It's not paying bills in Bermuda. You could probably count on one hand how many people in Bermuda make a living strictly off of social media. Social media is not the problem. AI is not the problem. People are the problem. Let's go back to the audience. What are your thoughts on people being charged for knowingly reporting or sharing false information? Richard Scott says, the intent is the critical issue. A joke to one person could be traumatic to another. Absolutely. I'll give you an example. Somerset Cricket Club 2024. Music was playing. And the DJ kept using gunshots as a sound effect. And someone above our camp came down and said, hey, look, can you ask the DJs to stop using the gunshots because, well, everyone's having fun and enjoying. This lady upstairs lost her son to gun violence, and it's triggering her. And you got to respect that, right? It costs nothing to be courteous. So I appreciate that, Richard Scott. What else, audience? What else? We've got Shawnette Sumner says, the false snake information is extremely serious that had an entire community on edge and cost money. They are no longer welcome in my country. They need to pay back and do jail time, then be deported. Well, that's if they're guilty. As I said earlier, we got to be very careful. Let me hold on. Let me find that. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
All right, I just had to play that disclaimer. that was Shawnette Sumner that said that wasn't Jamal. No, but seriously, as I did mention earlier, this is it's these matters will be for the court, and both men have pleaded not guilty. So we're not here to determine anyone's guilt. I want to be very clear about that, right? We can't, in one breath, speak about spreading stuff and so on and saying harmful stuff, and then in another breath, convict them before they've had a fair, the due process, fair trial, right? So let's just be careful and cautious. Now, what could make that comment better is if convicted, they're no longer welcome in the country. Just want to be very clear, cautious, and careful. You know, as long as you got Mark Daniels and Charles Richardson out there, we don't need to catch no cases on this show. This ain't C-Biz and that documentary. All right, we've got AI is the tool that they use to carry out their malicious activities. Yeah, but AI is also a tool that helps so many people. You know, I said on this show before, I look forward to the day that AI is used to do something like cure cancer. Technology doesn't scare me. It inspires me to believe that we will one day use it to cure us of some of the things that are tearing our community apart. We've got Dr. Anthony Richardson says it's the same with guns. It's not the gun causing the harm, it's the shooter behind the gun that causes the harm. Indeed. You know, as a registered gun owner, I always tell people, you know, guns are not used to go out and kill people and take advantage of people and be bad to people. They're supposed to be used to protect yourself from harm. I know many will differ, but that's what my training has taught me. Janet Smith says, depending for me, in this case, like you said, if it has gone to the police to be reported and the issue has created a large manhunt of resources, and you knowing it has and have not gone to clear the matter up, yes, you should be charged. What she's saying is basically, if it's going too far and you don't come forward, then yeah, you're guilty of something. Charles H. Jeffs II says, fortunately, it appears that we already have laws on the books to protect the public and hold people accountable. Before yesterday, I'm not sure that many knew that we had a law to protect us. Yeah, I agree. When I saw the email come through that there would be charges yesterday morning, I was like, oh my, what's this about? And then it hit me. Ooh, someone's being brought to, the courts. I think it's an eye-opener, man. I think it should be an eye-opener for us all. Honestly. More than anything, I think it should be an eye-opener. Like, hey, you can be prosecuted for stuff like this. Because I guarantee you, like Charles said, before this, I don't think people thought about consequences of something like this. Let's be honest. I don't think we collectively considered the consequences of sharing or knowingly reporting false information. I don't think we understood it. Shonette Sumner says, when people are frustrated and something comes out to support that frustration, the forwarding of information is that aha moment, like proof. Regardless of credibility, no thinking, it's forwarded. Yeah, I agree. Dwayne P. Santucci says, there needs to be a serious balance. False information and misinformation is dangerous, but Bermuda needs real investigative journalism because real truth has been compromised by government officials. I said this a couple days ago, or maybe last week. You are not wrong. To be honest, Bermuda's journalists or journalism as a whole has been compromised, if we're honest, right? I mean, you took some of the best journalists, the ones who will get you the answers to stuff, and they're now working in government places or Quengos, right? Some have left Bermuda. So you're really only left with Sam Strangeways. You're left with Gary Foster Skelton. You have Trevor to some extent, right? He's going to break stories and bring you news, but that's pretty much it. That's a fair comment. The lack of investigative journalism has created this as well, right? Carmi says the public has to be careful how they share information. When my grandson passed in the car accident, it was posted in a group chat I'm in, and we didn't know yet. My goodness. I can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Sorry you had to deal with that and go through that. No one should have to find out that way. Absolutely no one. Charles H. Jeffs II says it was concerning that it was reported as coming from a credible witness. Not sure how they got to the point of determining it was credible. That's the police's responsibility to determine that. Well, thank you for bringing that up, because in this particular case, I kept asking the question. What made it credible? And maybe the police can explain that. But what makes it credible? What made it credible? Because you can literally get a video, right, of a snake someplace that you can make look like Bermuda and put Bermudian voices or accents over something and make it seem like it's Bermudians on the video. Trust me, it's possible. I've never done it. I'm not interested in doing it, but it's possible. It happens, folks. It happens. I'll tell you what. My hope from this situation is that people think a bit more. I hope that people really consider, by sharing this, what is the end goal? What am I hoping to get out of this? What will the general public get out of this? What will the person or people I'm sharing this with get out of this? Let me be clear. I'm not saying that we shouldn't share things. I'm not saying that at all. I just think we all need to be a bit more conscious of what we choose to share. Graham Smith says, make a serious false claim, take the blame, especially in cases where the person has had numerous opportunities to withdraw their claim and their claim has serious consequences to our society. Says, although nobody should ever be prosecuted for claiming that St. George's is going to win the cup, even though we all know it's a false claim. You know, that's so last month, Graham. Oh my goodness. That was so last month. All right, folks, you all have been great. Let's see what the poll numbers are. My goodness, 86% of you. 86% should knowingly spreading false information have legal consequences. 86% of you have said yes. 86% have said yes. So that's where we're at this morning. That's where we're at. Folks, let's take our final break. You know what? Let's do a giveaway after the break as well. We'll do the daily play and we'll do a giveaway. All right? Do not go anywhere. We'll be back after this final break. So stick with us.
Children love to play and have fun. And they love gifts even more, especially ones that they can enjoy and learn from. With Bermuda Trivia coloring books, kids can explore the island while they color, learn, and create. The perfect activity for fun and learning together. Available now.
Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
Sometimes, all we need is to relax. Take our minds away from it all. A midday break from the busy day. and just a little time to ourselves. Relax, take a break, and unwind with Bermuda Trivia's crossword puzzle book. Available now across Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
All righty, welcome back to the big show, folks. If you haven't already, make sure you give us a like, a love, follow, share the link with your friends, family, and colleagues. We don't want anyone else getting prosecuted for sharing knowingly false information, all right? Big up to our partners, the BAC group of companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House Linders, People's Pharmacy, and of course, a lot of love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Folks, make sure if you've got a family event, late summer barbecue, birthday, corporate event coming up, make sure you get that Bermuda Trivia Shoe Bite Summer Edition in stores now. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, are you ready? It is a things you should know. I think this is easy. Hold on. All right. Audience, what is the only mammal that can fly? All right, Stacy at the buzzer. At the buzzer. Yeah, it's bat. It is a bat. A bat is the only mammal that can fly. So you all didn't. You all thought an ostrich was a mammal, or like a chicken. Was that mammal and can fly? I ain't never seen an ostrich fly. People say chickens fly. Anytime I've seen chickens fly when they were in distress. Oh, yeah. See, good point. See, Dr. Henry, they didn't ask about us flying on our own. They said, mammals that can fly. We do fly on airplanes, right? Yeah, that's a good point. Humans on BA. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Anyway, we're just trying to kill this argument. But Suzanne Ingham, Manuela, Karen Edward Simmons all came up with the goods, folks. Let's do a hashtag the Daily Hour today. Let's do a hashtag giveaway. That's what we'll do. We'll do a hashtag giveaway. Hold on. Let me get it up for you. Hashtag giveaway. We're going to do hashtag the Daily Hour. And we'll give you a car wash courtesy of Auto Solutions. All right. So hashtag the Daily Hour. While I wrap it up. But my final thoughts this morning. As Carmi shared, she found out about her grandson via a chat. I don't like the idea of us only considering things when they impact us. I would like to believe we're a more loving, more caring, and more conscious community whose first thought is to help and not cause harm. So when we receive forwards or text, let the first thing not to be, let me share it and forward it as well. If you care enough, try to verify. But also, if it's harmful, just let it stop with you. Don't continue the trend. Be the bigger, the better, and more mature person. Because at the end of the day, if you can't answer how forwarding this text, this video, this image is going to be helpful, then just don't do it. All right, let's do the giveaway, folks. I forgot. I've got to put it on screen so you all don't think I'm cheating. All right, so let's put it on screen so you all can see it. And then we'll spin the donkey. All right, here we go. Oh. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Tanya Cheeseman, congratulations to you, Tanya. Send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com, and we will get you your goods. All right, Tanya? So send an email today. Congratulations to Tanya Cheeseman. I'm going to leave you with this daily inspiration, folks. Quote, this is from my book, The Journey Within, page 43. The world would be a better place if more of us made informed decisions instead of emotional ones. Do what you will with that. I think that ties in perfectly with today's discussion. Alrighty? All right, folks. Well, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great weekend. We are out. Peace.